This is going to be the first video that we're shooting that has to do with perspective. So this is the one where we're going to draw the 3 boxes and they're going to be going to a vanishing point. So what you need first of all is you need 2 pieces of paper because you're actually going to do 6 boxes. So you're going to do and pass in. You're going to do one like kind of like that and one kind of like that, and then you're going to pass it in through Google Classroom. So you're going to need 2 pieces of paper. You're going to need a pencil. I would definitely have an eraser or some other type of eraser. It would be great if you had a ruler. If you don't have a ruler now, you may want to reach out to anybody that you're talking to get one, because you're going to be doing these types of steps for many weeks. So it'd just be easier if you have a ruler. If you didn't have a ruler, you could do anything that has kind of an edge to it that you could draw against. So I could use a piece of, this is actually an envelope, a side of a magazine, a side of a book, something like that, so that you can make some straight lines. And you want it to be at least 6 inches, I would say, if not maybe a little bit longer. All right, so we're going to start off. You're going to draw 3 boxes and they are going to be above your horizon line. So if you can imagine that this is you, your eye line, see where his eye is, and the horizon line are the same. The boxes are going to be above the horizon line. So we'll pull a little guy off, we'll get a piece of paper, and they don't have to look exactly like my boxes right here, but I would like you to have a thin one. So a thin one, a fat one, and a medium one. So you can go fat, medium, thin, however you want to do it. So I want them all to be on the same line at the top. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to give myself an inch at the top, and I'm going to draw a straight line coming across. And this is going to be the tops of my boxes. I'm just going to do that kind of light. And then I'm going to do it the same kind of as this one right here. So it will look somewhat the same. So let's say my first box is a thin one. Let's say I started at 1 and I go to 1.5. I'm going to start it at 1 and I'm going to go to 1.5. And then I want them all to end at the same point. So let's see where I ended these. I ended these at 3.5. So if you have a ruler, you can do that. If you don't have a ruler, kind of just guess about how fat you want them to be. So because I can't do a straight line to save my life, I'm going to measure everything. I'm going to draw this line kind of lightly because I'll use it sometimes and I won't use it other times. So you can see I have my dots here and my dots here. This one I'm going to draw dark. And this one I'm going to draw dark. And then I'm just going to go over my top. Okay, now I'm going to do my next one. I want to leave some space. So let's say that I bring it over. I think I'm going to have this one be right in the center. So since this is 11, 5.5 is the center, because 5.5 and 5.5 are 11. And I'm going to put this one right in the center. So I'm going to move it over 1.5 inches, 1.5 inches. So this one's going to be fatter, I think, than the one I have on the one that I gave a demonstration for you guys, but that's fine. So 3 boxes, fat, thin, and medium. And then my last one will be a medium one, so I'll give it a little bit of space in between. So 8. Don't remember how far over I went, so just over 3. So I have my 3 boxes. Now the nice thing with this is when you do your second one, you can just take your other paper, put it on top of it, and see how you can see through it? You can just make your little dots of each of your boxes. And then you can connect them with your ruler, so your boxes won't take as long for you to draw out the second time. All right, so I have my boxes. I'm going to make my horizon line. That is my eye level line. And since we're saying that the boxes are above, way above our head, we're going to put our eye level line way down here. And then in this first one, I'm going to put it in the center. So 5.5 is the center. And you can put your dot anywhere on here that you would like, as long as you put them in different places each time. So for example, on this one, I have my vanishing point on the horizon line way to the right. And then on this one, I did it in the center on this one. So I could have chosen over here, could have chosen here, could have chosen here, could have chosen here. You kind of get the idea. So any place on that line is absolutely fine. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go from the bottom of the boxes and I'm going to go to the vanishing point. So I'm going to line up the corner. I'm going to press down hard, and then I'm going to have less pressure as I go towards it, because I know I'm only going to use the line at the beginning. So all of the corners on the bottom, you're going to go to the vanishing point. So corner, 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 corner. Now, on the other corners, whether we draw the line is going to depend on whether it goes on the face of the block or not. So for instance, I don't need this one because it goes on the face, it goes on the front of it. So I'm not going to see it. It exists, but it's going to be behind. This one right here does not go on the face or on the front of it, so I do need this one. Okay, so I've done 3 of the 4. Again, I didn't do this one because it went in the front. These go off of it, not on the front, so I need them. If I try this one, it goes on the face, I don't need it. If I try this one, it goes on the face, I don't need it. Okay, now we're going to go to this guy over here. I'm going to start with this one right here. It goes outside of the face. This is the face, so I need it. If I were to try this one right here, it goes on the face, so I don't need it. All right, so I've drawn all the lines that I need for this particular vanishing point. Now I'm going to decide how fat they are, how far they go back into space. So if I look at this one right here, this is how far back they went into space. And I do find it's easier just to make them all go back the same amount of space. And also it will help us when we build things later that they go back the same amount. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to slide my ruler underneath the bottoms. And then I'm going to look at where the line came through, and I'm going to join them. And I'll show you this in a second too. And hopefully I get the right ones each time. So what I did was these 2 lines, this is the bottom right here. I joined those 2 lines with the straight line. This one and this one, I joined it with the straight line, and this one and this one, I joined it with a straight line. So now I have all the bottoms done. I just need to do the top parts. This guy is already done. That's the beauty of having one right in the center. You're only going to see the front and the bottom. These 2 guys over here, you're going to see the bottom and the side of them. So the next thing is I'm just going to draw a straight line coming up from where this goes up this way. So it's this cross right here that makes this part come up right here. So I'm going to bring it up. That guy's done. I'm going to come over to here. This one crossed right here. I'm going to make a straight line coming up. All right. And then what you're going to do is you're going to shade them. And I know all of you guys are really good at shading, so that helps reinforce those shading skills that we've learned at the beginning. Something that is close to us, but it turns away, goes from lighter where it's close to us to darker as it goes away. And this is going to make these appear more three-dimensional as well. So I'm going to make it darker, and then I'm going to have it go lighter. I'm going to make it darker. And I'm going to have it go lighter. I'm going to do the same thing over here. And of course, this is the fast version. So you're going to do this as nicely as possible so that you get all the points that you possibly can for this part of the project. This part is further away from me, and we know that. See how small this is compared to that? Just like railroad tracks, we know that the railroad tracks are all the same size, but as we look down the railroad tracks, they appear to get smaller, and that is how we see. Our brain processes it, and that's what we call perspective, linear perspective. And then I would clean it up as best I could, make it lovely, and that is one of the ones that are done. All right, so I'm going to do two of these. I'm going to do one going to one vanishing point, and then I'm going to just put my paper onto these boxes, and what I just did a little while ago with the little dots. And then once I have the little dots, I'm going to take my ruler, not my pencil, but my ruler, and I'm going to have the boxes again. And then once I have the boxes again, then I'm going to change where the vanishing point is. So you can see that these are the same types of boxes, but instead of having my vanishing point being here, I have it over here. So let's just do one. Let's just do the big one in the center. I'll change the vanishing point. I'll put my horizon line, which is my eye level line. So you know, when you're working on your project in class and I come over and help you, I always tell you to hop up, right? When I say hop up, when you're drawing something, especially when you were drawing your shoe, that is because I had to see it at the same perspective that you did. So if I was looking at your shoe above the shoe, I couldn't draw it accurately the way that you saw it sitting down. So I had to get into the same eye level line as you did when I was going to help you with the shoe. So that's why always the hop up. I'm going to go to this one. I'm going to go to this one. Whoops. And then once again, this one goes on the front of, so I'm not going to do that one. I don't need that one. And then I'm just going to decide how fat they are. It's just easier to do the width of a ruler. And once it hits this corner right here, then it's going to come up. So then I'm going to draw a straight line up. And that one's done. And then I'm going to shade where it's further away. It's going to get lighter as it comes up. It's going to be darker here. And it's going to come up. And since we don't have any blending stumps like we did in class, if you need to, we'll cheat a little bit and you can go like this to make it all smoothed in. All right, so what do I expect? I expect that this goes on to Google Classroom on Sunday. I find it's easier for me to put things up on Sunday rather than on Monday because a lot of times it's a lot of papers to put up. In addition to the video, it's a lot of papers to get up onto Google Classroom. It takes me a long time for the 5 classes to do that. So I don't like to do it on Monday morning. I'd rather have it done a day earlier than a day later. So I'll always be putting new videos up on Sunday rather than on Monday. That way when you get up on Monday morning, you know what you have to do for your 2D design class, you know what you have to do for that week, and you'll be all set to go. The 2 drawings, this paper, this one and this one, all shaded in with the 3 boxes, going to vanishing points in 2 separate places, one on this paper, one on this paper, shaded, is going to be due on Friday the 25th. All right, Friday the 25th. And what I'll do is I'll put a blank piece of paper with simple directions onto Google Classroom that will, I think it just slides into each one of your files, and that will help you to remember to do the project. You'll have to get paper from at home to do it, but at least that will be the memory for you to be able to do it and get it put into Google Classroom. You can take a picture of each one of these, put it onto one document if you want, or you can do it in 2 separate documents. It's up to you. And then I'll take a look at them and I'll give you a grade for them. And then the next video and the next project, we'll do 2 simple letters. We'll do what are we gonna do? Oh, the L and the T. Okay, we'll do that. We'll do it step by step. And then that will be due in a week after that. Okay? Do the best that you can. I hope you have rulers. Do beautiful shading because I know that you are totally capable of great shading. Okay, thanks.